Scores for execution, 9, 8 1/2, 8, 8 1/2. And for synchronization, 8, 7 1/2, 8, 8, 8 1/2. Diving second from Canada, Reuben Ross and Riley Mccormick. 101B, forward dive pipe, 2.0. Scores for execution, 9, 9, 9, 7 1/2. Synchronization, 7 1/2, 8 1/2, 8 1/2, 8 1/2, 8. Diving third from the United States, David Bouida, Thomas Fincham. 103B forward, 1 1/2 somersault spike, 2.0. Scores for execution, 8, 8 1/2, 8 1/2, 8 1/2. Synchronization, 8 1/2, 8, 8 1/2, 8 1/2, 8 1/2. Diving fourth from Brazil, Rui Marinho, Hugo Parisi, 101B, forward dive pipe, 2.0. Scores for execution, 6 1/2, 7 1/2, 8 1/2, 8 1/2. Synchronization, 7 1/2, 8 1/2, 8, 8, 8. Diving fifth from the United States, Sean Moore, David Kulturi, 103B forward, 1 1/2 somersault spike, 2.0. Execution, 7, 7 1/2, 8 1/2, 8 1/2. Synchronization, 8, 8 1/2, 8 1/2, 7 1/2, 7 1/2. Starting the second round, Max Frick, Tom Daley, 403B, inward 1 1/2 somersault spike, 2.0. Scores for execution, 8, 8 1/2, 9, 8 1/2. Synchronization, 8, 8 1/2, 8 1/2, 8, 8. Reuben Ross, Riley Mccormick, 401B, inward dive pipe, 2.0. Execution scores, 8 1/2, 8 1/2, 8 1/2, 8. Synchronization, 8, 8, 7 1/2, 8, 7 1/2. David Bouida, Thomas Fincham, 401B, inward dive pipe, 2.0. execution, 8 1/2, 9, 9, 9. Synchronization, 9, 9, 8 1/2, 9 1/2, 9. For Carlos Marino, Ugo Parisi, 401B inward dive pike 2.0. Scores for execution, 8 1/2, 9, 8, 8. Synchronization, 8 1/2, 8, 8, 8, 8. Sean Moore, David Kokuri, 401B, inward dive pike 2.0. Scores for execution, 8, 8, 8 1/2, 8 1/2. Synchronization, 8, 8 1/2, 7 1/2, 8, 8. Starting the third round, Max Brick, Thomas Daley, 407C. Inward, 3 1/2 somersaults tuck, 3.2. Scores for execution, 8 1/2, 8, 7, 7. Synchronization, 7, 7 1/2, 8, 7 1/2, 7 1/2. Reuben Ross, Riley McCormick, 107B, forward 10 1/2 somersault pike 3.0. Scores for execution, 8, 7 1/2, 6 1/2, 8. For synchronization, 8, 7 1/2, 7 1/2, 7 1/2, 7 1/2. David Bouida, Thomas Fincham, 52, 53B. Back 2 1/2 somersaults, 1 1/2 twist, pike, 3.4. Scores for execution, 9, 8 1/2, 8, 8 1/2. Synchronization, 8 1/2, 8, 8 1/2, 9, 9. Rui Marino, Ugo Parisi, 52, 53B. Back 2 1/2 somersaults, 1 1/2 twist. Pike, 3.4. Scores for execution, 6, 5 1/2, 7 1/2, 8. For synchronization, 7 1/2, 7 1/2, 6 1/2, 7, 7. Sean Moore, David Couturi, 407C.